My name is Jeremy. I am the lead software engineer at San Antonio's Web Design. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about how uh, how our mobile app development customers are making millions from their app that we built for them. All right. So if you like the video, go ahead and like, subscribe, and turn notifications, and you will see more content from us. And this will also help us share these videos, get these videos to more people, so we can help out more people with their business. All right. So let's talk about how this can be such a huge investment for you, and how you can make so much money from getting your app development. Okay, app developed. Now, mobile app development can be a hugely profitable investment for those who invest in their ideas. All right. The benefits of owning your own company, making your own profits, and reaping the benefits of the glorious tax benefits for businesses, assuming you're in the USA, are insane. There's so many things you can write off. It's honestly kind of disgusting. It's just so much. You don't. Anyway, using other people's money, you can launch your startup in the either private through either private investors, banks, Y Combinator, or grants. Your startup value is based on how much it's valued at, how much money is invested in it. Make sure you don't take too much funding at once, or you could easily actually be undervalued if you aren't actually super profitable right away. Understand your customers. Start low. It's easier to get more investments if you show you are actually not overvalued. If you get valued at $1 million and you don't make 200,000, or your assets don't grow in value, you're not getting another 2 million, another million. None of that. None. All right, people need to know their investments are making money. This is key. If your investors see that people are investing in your company at $500K, but your company only makes $50K the first year, beware, your next valuation might not go so well. It'd be better to get investors to give you a total of $70K and you make $100K, and then investors give you $40K and you make $50. In other words, do your research and don't screw up. Your pockets will thank you. The other way you can make more money from mobile apps is via ads. Let's say your mobile app is developed and people like it, and your user base is growing. The amount of money you get from each ad is based off your niche and the ad company you choose. Most people just go with AdMob. If you get 100,000 users in the first few months, that would be great. But depending on the niche, you might not get that much of a return right away. However, if you keep that growth, and by the end of the fourth quarter, if you have 500,000 users or even 1 million, then you are really going to start making some mad bank. But you aren't done. You will then need to ramp up development to keep those users engaged and keep the competition from catching up with you. Realistically, mobile app development should probably never stop, especially if your entire purpose of mobile app development is to make a high profit investment, as our title suggests. The reality is not everyone can afford an app development team 52 weeks of the year. That's why investors are great. Now, maintaining profitability. The third way investing in mobile app development can be a high profit investment is by simply analyzing your user data. If you have not been already doing this, best case scenario, you are doing it from day one, to establish a market need and understand your demographics. Analyzing your demographics and where your traffic is coming from and what your users are doing on your mobile app is going to be key in making sure you're able to please your customers. Your users on your app because you have met a need. The best way to keep your users is to make sure you understand their needs and double down on them, right? So get an idea of what they need and offer the best solution all the time, all day, every day. You need to get their engagement as much as possible too. Okay, so if you're answering all their questions, you help them the most with your content, but it's boring, and it's the kind of business where maybe it shouldn't be so boring. Like if you're selling Nerf guns, that could be more fun. You could have meetups, you could have videos of people doing Nerf gun stuff. You could have like Nerf gun trick videos, that kind of thing. There's so much you can do with that kind of niche. But if you're selling tables, maybe that can't be so much fun. Like maybe you don't want a bunch of videos about people dancing on tables. Maybe rather just people eating at dinner. That can only really be so much fun, I think. So be careful with that too. Your users are on your app because obviously MetaMeet, like I mentioned, so you want to make sure you keep doubling down on that, right? Think of speak running games or games where you catch fish, coins, or press on colorful jewels. These are honestly just a lot of reused code to make the development easier and to allow the app development company to push out as many games possible in that quarter or year, right? So you want to make sure that you're not being lazy and you're making new content. It's one thing to just kind of keep making the same game and making different changes to it, but at some point you also want to just really double down, okay, like I mentioned. Pivoting. At some point in your app lifespan, you will find yourself losing your users' attention. Losing users entirely or losing revenue because users are not buying things in your mobile app. Think of freemium or premium games. Whatever the deal is, when this happens, this is inevitable in some places, some cases, and you should plan for it. You need to know how to pivot based on the current market and the current needs of your demographic. Assuming your demographic is not just aging out, and you need to target new users that fit the initial demographic, right? If your demographic is children ages from 5 to 9, and those children are now 15, 16, something like that, your amount of users can go down. So you have to retarget those people. So it means more ads, more content. If your users are just aging out, they're not going to be mingling with younger people, and they're not going to be passing on that word of mouth about this new game they found or this new product they found, right? So you want to keep targeting those people. Getting acquired. The last way mobile app development can be a very high profit investment is by getting acquired. As many companies, so many companies are actually made just for this purpose of getting acquired by Amazon or Yahoo or Facebook, etc. Google. Actually, that's funny because they just got sued for that. I think there was like a lawsuit about companies acquiring smaller companies to double down and monopolize, but it's been happening for decades, so we'll see how that goes. Either way, a lot of people make their apps just for that purpose, to get things out quickly and then sell to a big company who might need that product. Because a lot of the times, it's actually easier to just buy a product, a web asset, like a website or an app, than to build it out, right? For instance, if I need a website that sells dirt bikes, and maybe I plan to get traffic with a dirt bike site by making 200 articles on dirt bikes, it might be better to just go and find a website that already does that and then offer to buy it for maybe $20,000, something like that, right? And especially if that website is already generating revenue, then I just save myself a bunch of time and I can just put an investment in and start generating revenue that day, right? Which is what bigger companies do. They just instead of hiring engineers to build this or build that, they just go and buy the product that's already made that meets their needs. Then they refactor that code, as I mentioned earlier, to make that app meet their needs. So there are so many ways to make money from getting your app developed, but the main ways, to recap, are ads, affiliate marketing, in-app sales. Like for games, it's like freemium, like you sell, like if you have a pool game, pool table billiards, maybe you sell more money to buy more cues, right? Maybe you tell people, if you buy this cue, you can hit this much harder on the cue ball. Or, if you buy this, you can afford to bet more with people with in-game currency, right? That kind of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also getting acquired, to recap. If you like the video, please go ahead and like and subscribe, turn notifications so you can get notified when we have more videos, and like and subscribing will also help us get these videos out to more businesses who need more information about marketing, web design, app development, and SEO. All right, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.